I am Allison, and I'm an assistant professor at Cal State Channel Islands.
What is your favorite part of your job and why?
So my favorite part of my job is interacting directly with the students, both in the classroom and also mentoring students for research. And the reason is that, it's just really exciting when you're spending a lot of time with them, getting to know them, kind of nurturing their scientific career. And then when you do, especially in research, a lot of hypothesis testing, and you see the light bulb go off and they really get things for the first time, that's really rewarding.
When you were young, what did you dream of being someday?
So I knew pretty early on that I wanted to be a biologist, and I really wanted to be outdoors, hiking, traveling. And fortunately, I've gotten to do a lot of that as a biologist. But now what I really like about that is not only being outside in nature, but then also combining that with a lot of lab work as well.
Was there maybe one experience that kind of pushed you in the direction of biology that you can think of? Or?
It was, it was really a high school biology class. It was my least favorite because we had to dissect a pig, but it was really the genetics part of that turned me on to biology. If I had to go back and give myself advice, it would basically be to ask more questions. As a college student, I was, I think, a little self-conscious about feeling like I should already know the answers. And so in retrospect, and as a professor, now I tell students that that's what they're here for, is really to learn and to not be self-conscious about asking questions. 3 strategies to be successful as a STEM major would first be, I think, going to see a faculty advisor in the major that you're interested in, and really sort of developing a roadmap for which classes to take in order to, graduate in a timely manner, because a lot of science upper division classes have prerequisites. So you really have to kind of plan that out in order not to fall behind. And then the second thing is that once you're in your classes, it would be to go to office hours. At CI, it's really great that we're a pretty small campus, and we have the opportunity to interact with the undergrads a lot, as well as the undergrads get access to their professors. And so it's really great to take advantage of that once you are in your classes. And then the third thing would be really to work on your writing. As a science major, it's really easy to fall into the trap of thinking that writing is not that important, but it turns out that it's really important.
How important has mentorship been for you in your career?
So it's been incredibly important. Ever since I was an undergrad, I got to know my professors, and then through the years with all of the research projects that I've done, I've had a ton of mentorship, and every day when I'm interacting with students, I'm thinking back to how much my mentors helped me and appreciating it. When I was an undergraduate, and struggling a little bit in college, I basically just buckled down and studied, was in just the library all the time. And I feel like at that time in your life, there's a lot to learn from in terms of, kind of experiential learning. So being involved, volunteering, things like that. So I did participate in undergraduate research. I was very lucky. I had 3 undergraduate research experiences. The first was while I was studying abroad. I did an independent project in Costa Rica, which was a total flop. And it was actually really mind-opening because I learned a lot from the experience. So I had a second chance to do another undergraduate research project, and when that happened, I learned from the first time and really was able to be successful because I knew what not to do. And then my third undergraduate research experience was actually a senior project with an advisor. And that was a great experience because it was long-term rather than just a shorter-term project. And I learned a lot and had that mentorship, that kind of. So what happened was I was just, it was my first time doing research, and I was really excited about the research, and I did a lot of data collection and the fieldwork part of it. I think I had interesting results, but I just didn't really know how to present them, sort of how to analyze my data and how to present them well. So when I had to give my talk, I think did it last minute, so I didn't have time to ask for help. And then when I, was presenting, I just wasn't prepared. But I learned so much from that, because now, like every presentation that I give, I tend to make sure that that's not going to happen again. And the way to do that is just, be prepared, really practice, and, put the time in that needs to be, put in.
What do you wish you had known before starting your profession?
Before starting my profession, I really wish I would have known how important math was going to be. I was always strong when it came to math. So, and I took all of the requirements throughout college and graduate school, but I really wish I would have pushed myself even more, because now it's the biologists that are really good at math that are like the cool kids. So I wish I could be one of those people, but now what's so nice about science is that it's so collaborative, so you can really, work with people. One of the reasons I think diversity within STEM is important is because everybody's sort of coming with their own background and perspective, and can sort of think about what they're studying a little bit differently. So that's why diversity is important. Also, so that we can kind of inspire younger people, because the more diversity there is, and the more, diverse scientists they see, then they can kind of think to themselves like, okay, well, I can do that too. What really motivates me, I think more than anything, it's kind of the opposite of what a lot of students tell me. They say like, oh, I don't want to try for that because I have this fear of rejection and not succeeding. And I try to sort of turn that around, because the way that I think of it, and this is just sort of must be part of my personality, but I'm afraid of having sort of regrets and not doing things. So my advice to parents would be to let your kids really just explore what they love, because a lot of parents push their students into STEM fields because they think, oh, well, that's gonna, make them money, or it's gonna be productive, they'll be a doctor or something like that. But more than anything, we just need passionate scientists. And so there are so many fields within STEM that can be really productive and, help, improve the world. But the students really need to love what they're doing. That's kind of the most important thing.